Hey, what's up everybody? Agamatsu here today. Today we're going to be talking about why the Vast Realm will be better than Rogue Lineage. So as of right now, everybody knows that the Vast Realm was recently recoded and, well, the game started popping off. Got like 500 players and a lot of people are interested, including me. So personally, I've played the game a lot and, well, I've seen some things that show it to have a lot of potential. And at the moment, Rogue isn't currently getting any updates, so I was like, you know what? I might as well go see what the Vast Realm has in store. And well, after being pretty impressed, I can clearly say that the Vast Realm will eventually be better than Rogue. Right now, I don't think it's better than Rogue at the moment because, of course, it's lacking content. However, if it were to have an equal amount of content, the Vast Realm, in my opinion, would be superior. So let's begin with the list. So for starters, we have progression in general, right? We have PvE progression, so you don't have to go out and grip 60 players in order to get your Ultra class, as I said in the previous video. Now the thing is, right now progression works a little bit differently because Ultra class isn't released for the Vast Realm yet. But still, you don't need to interact with other people to progress, and you can interact with other people to progress. Again, it's only one class that you need someone to kill, and that's Assassin. And the progression generally is considered a lot easier than Rogue Lineage because, well, of course, you know, trying to kill 15 players, eventually you're going to run into an issue, and that's where a lot of people are like, oh, Gaia duelers, blah, 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 in Rogue Lineage. Well, at least in here, solo progression isn't that difficult. Of course, I'm pushing for the PvE to be a little bit more difficult, so it can be a little bit more challenging or more engaging / memorable, but again, it's not really that big of an issue at the moment. The game also feels a lot more polished, and when I refer to this, I usually mean the animations and how the game like runs. So usually I'll be fighting somebody, and when I grip them, it's just like a clean animation that I enjoy seeing. If you actually see some of the new NPCs that are releasing, you'll see that they're actually pretty well animated, and you don't see anything like this in Rogue Lineage. Compare the Lava Snake to this, and well, you see the vast difference in how each of those look. There's also a lot more dev interaction, so yeah, I know you're going in suggestions and typing that D-Sage should be nerfed or Uber D-Sigil should be nerfed, but nobody's listening to you. Well, in here, if you actively complain about something and a lot of people agree with you, changes will be made to that class because, well, the game is constantly getting updated. Well, in Rogue Lineage, things are just kind of you have to get a lot of people, and I mean a lot of people for weeks on end complaining about something and hope that the, you know, one of the devs pick it up. Well, here, you complain about something, or you say like this is too busted, or this is unfair, or this is what we want, it'll be added. Just like how they said pretty much the PD of this game, it was too rare, and guess what, it got buffed. Because, you know, everybody was thinking like, oh, you can't like get a life pack, it's too rare, and well, there you go, it's buffed. Another thing that some people care about a lot is the lore. Now in Rogue Lineage there isn't really much lore to begin with. I mean, like, you can piece some things together, which is what my boy Voxus does, shout out by the way. But for the most part, in the Vast Realm, the lore is a lot more clear and easy to understand and a lot easier to follow. And there's lore characters that you can actually interact with again. So I guess it is like how Rogue Lineage used to be when you used to be able to interact with these lore figures, but in the Vast Realm it makes a lot more sense, I guess you could say. Now, going back to balancing and how like the gameplay actually is, we have the races. Now, in my opinion, the races in the Vast Realm are a lot more balanced than in Rogue per se. So for example, when I mean this, compare a Scroom in Rogue Lineage to a Dazin or a Construct or a Navran. You can clearly see that the three I mentioned before are clearly better than Scroom, and Scroom pretty much stands no chance against them if the players have equal skill. I mean, of course, I'm not going to say like no chance, but obviously those races get a much better benefit. In the Vast Realm, it's a lot more balanced, a lot more equal. Races get some minor buffs. Sometimes they get something pretty nice, but every class gets something very nice, or every race gets something very nice. And again, if you think a race is too underpowered, you can ask for it to be buffed. Maybe get a lot of your friends, a lot of people in the community, and if they agree with you, the race will be buffed. That's a nice thing. While we still see Scroom over here being used as a joke race, Castellan being underused. Nobody uses those. Riggin, just multiple examples of races in Rogue Lineage just being like left in the dust. Well, here everybody uses the different races because they're mostly all pretty good. Another thing about the Vast Realm that I like is the combat. Now this is more opinionated, of course. I'm not really gonna say that this makes the Vastrom better than Rogue, but it's like a slower paced combat. So a lot of people, there's a lot of things in Rogue that people complain about. So for example, I'm a D-Sage, I M2 somebody and lightning out with them immediately after, and it's unblockable, and that's like a lot of damage done to me. And then I can snap Ignis after that and another M2, and then I can lightning drop them again, and I can just instantly deplete their health if I get a nice full combo in. Or as a Shinobi, if I get that nice full combo in, I'm taking a lot of their health, and I can probably easily kill somebody if I get a nice good combo in. Or with Facelesses, before they nerfed it, I believe, or got rid of it, they used to be able to macro somebody. Just think about it. You're able to macro somebody to death. Well, in the Vastrom, you can't really have that here. The way the combat is structured, macroing would be impossible. You can use your moves, but you can't really combo into too many that well. I mean, you can, but it's not going to be as crazy as something like a Faceless, which is, again, this is like up to you if you prefer the combat of Rogue versus the Vastrom. I recommend trying both, and I enjoy both too, but personally I think I would recommend the Vastrom if you're like more so trying to get that more balanced experience. But if you want a boss raid, truthfully, it's a lot easier than Rogue Lineage because you have those aspects of that faster base, I can kill you quick type of combat. Another thing about the Vastrom that I enjoy, and I think will eventually make it better than Rogue, is the bigger map. This allows for a lot more content ideas, a lot more content expansion, and of course Rogue isn't expanding anytime soon. The last expansion it got was Deep Forest, and then K, I guess. But yes, the Vastrom will always add more and more content to this bigger map, which is something I enjoy. I guess finally, as of right now, there's no really big black marketing or exploiter issue. This is currently like as of right now, which I think is making it better, but eventually it may catch up and become like Rogue. But there's no like big artifact in the game that people are going to be paying $100 for in Vastrom, which is keeping the black marketers on the very, very low, which is something I enjoy. Now, of course, this doesn't mean that the Vastrom has no problems whatsoever. I've talked to the community, and pretty much I think the main issue is the lack of content, of course. I mean, obviously the game is in early stages, and flooding. As I mentioned earlier, it's a lot more easy to boss raid in Rogue Lineage because of that faster based combat. Well, that also leads to the problem of if I have 4 people on me in the Vastrom and you're only 1 guy or 2 guys, you're going to have a lot harder of a time fighting against us 4, and we're almost likely always going to win because of our numbers alone, which is something that might turn off a lot of Rogue Lineage players, but again, 2 completely different games. Now, maybe they'll balance this out in the future so things like this doesn't happen. Maybe some people prefer this way, and they don't like the idea of one guy being able to boss raid, 4 or 5 different people. But again, this is purely up to the devs, but that is simply true. You can't get flooded on, and you will probably lose if you're outnumbered, which in my opinion does kind of suck, but that's just how I guess currently the game is until they, I guess, add more content. So anyway guys, this was just a video just talking about why I think personally the Vastrom will be better than Rogue Lineage. Will it like always be better than Rogue at the moment? No, but eventually, of course, I think it's going to surpass Rogue and become even better. Now, when you're talking about D-Poking on the other hand, that's where you're pushing the limit. D-Poking is pretty good. But other than that, yeah guys, just another video on the Vastrom. If you guys want me to talk about more games, let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.